Hello, and welcome back to the Illegal Pancakes podcast. So, we're a little late in getting our 2021 review podcast out because, I don't know, stuff happens over the holidays. But here it is. And damn it.
We're ready to talk. It's gonna be a little different this year. Do you want to go over the new format?
Yeah. Thanks for the save. Okay, I am drunk. All right. So, yep, we're doing a bit of a different format this time. It's pretty much the same as what we did last year. There are a couple new topics or things we're going to throw in, but the big thing is we're probably going to be cutting this larger podcast up into individual segments and clips, and then releasing those individually in case there's a certain thing that you might not want to wait half an hour or whatever for. I have no idea how long this is going to be, but it's also a way for us to get more stuff out there. And I don't know, this is probably going to be a long video, but we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, we're going to go over new stuff in 2021 that came out, books, movies, TV shows, games. Then also,
yeah, like I said, one of the traditions for us is that some of the stuff we'll talk about may not have been released in 2021, but as long as we discovered it, as long as it's new to us, then it's fair game for this podcast.
Yes, yep, I was about to say that. Probably more of that stuff again this year for me, but I don't know. Then next we'll go into the things in entertainment or whatnot that surprised us the most in the year of 2021. And then the things that were the biggest disappointments. Same idea, except stuff we didn't like. And then a new topic we're going to do the biggest insult of the year. I'm limiting mine to just one thing, I think. But I don't know. You have just one, right, Robbie?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. We got to make this, the thing that insulted us the most.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, we're going to go over our plans for 2022. I don't really have many notes on that, so it'll probably just be a bit of a ramble.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what isn't for me? Yep, and then we'll also have some other random topics and segments thrown in the middle. They'll be kind of a surprise. Those are probably what are going to end up being our segmented videos or whatnots, or individual clips that we re-release. Yeah. So just be aware of those. So anyway, let's get started. So we're going to go right ahead into the new stuff from 2021 / new to us stuff, and we're going to start with movies. Take it away, Rob.
Okay, so there was a lot of movies that came out this year. Some of them were more exciting than others. I don't know, I guess this year's actually been kind of a weird year for movies, because movie theaters are just now starting to open back up, and the first movie I saw in theaters was Godzilla vs. Kong, which I absolutely loved. I watched that a ton in theaters. But it's just that came out the end of March. And it's just kind of funny to think there was no movies.
That came out this year.
What's up? Yeah, that came out this year.
I thought that came out in 2020. Holy crap.
Nah, it's a long year, man.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Hey, you want to know what's even crazier?
What?
Do you remember that show Thunder Force that everyone was hating on?
Thunder Force. I thought that was a movie, not a show.
Yeah, actually, I think it was a movie.
When did that come out?
Yeah, apparently that came out this year as well. I thought that came out, in 2019. I heard all these people, mentioning it on their list of worst movies that they saw. And I'm like, that was this year? What?
They say time goes by faster as you age, but I think that's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
This year was a decade. My goodness.
Yeah, that's how it feels. Godzilla vs. Kong came out in March. That's after the first quarter of the year, and it still feels like it was forever. But yeah, I guess it's been a long year, but I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. That's my movie of the year. It wins by default. It had some steep competition this year against Godzilla vs. Hedorah 2, but since that movie was only like 8 minutes long, I have to give it to Godzilla vs. Kong.
Was that one like a re-release of an older?
No, so what they did was the movie Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster, which is like my least favorite Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
It turned like, I forget, it was like the 45th anniversary or something like that. So what they did is they made a short Godzilla movie entirely with practical effects. And it's only like 8 minutes long. It might even be less. It might even be like 4 minutes. Who knows? But it was really cool to see, like, you know, the original Japanese studio Toho create a Godzilla movie that's all practical effects. Just rubber suits, model cities, all of that, which was super cool. But, like I said, it was only like 8 minutes long. So, I can't really call it a real movie. It was just like a little short thing they came out with.
Okay. So, the first new movie I saw this year, not new to me, but like new movie, was No Time to Die. But I think do we want to save that for last? Since I think you and I will both have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, we can save that one for later.
So, I'll go on to one that Rob didn't see. That I was thinking about making a video on this movie, but okay, I'm not entirely sure why I didn't. I guess just laziness. But I saw Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City back in November, and okay, I think I know why. Like, just like watching that movie, like, killed like most of my brain cells. It's like, yeah. So
that was a really weird movie, just because I remember I was just scrolling through my Google News feed and they had like a leaked image from the new Resident Evil movie, and I looked at it and it was like a scene of them inside the mansion, and I was like, holy crap, like they're making an actual Resident Evil movie. And I think I sent you the article.
Yeah, you did. So like, yeah, it came kind of out of nowhere, and I
saw this leaked image of like a set photo, and I'm like, oh, this movie must be coming in like a year or so, right?
No,
like the next day the trailer comes out and it's like, oh yeah, the movie comes out in 2 weeks. And I'm like, what? Like,
I don't think it was that soon, because that had to have been at least like July or August, because it didn't come out till like,
maybe
that was October or November, but I saw it in November, I think.
Yeah. It was a super short time though. Like,
yeah,
this movie got like no marketing at all, and I assume the reason why is because it's bad. I'll let you clarify if that's true.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like I only saw maybe 1 or 2 YouTube ads for it, like trailers for it, before videos, but that's it. Like, I don't think I got any TV ads or anything, because I mentioned to my like dad I was gonna go see it, and he's like, oh, what's that? I was like, okay. Yeah. But
and like, I don't know, that's really too bad, because like this is the first one that I feel like has actually tried to be from the games. I mean, I guess like some of the other movies had like Nemesis and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And apparently this movie is just awful, and that ruins any chance for the next 10 years of us getting a good Resident Evil movie,
Yeah, so the first thing that should have been a warning sign to like pretty much everybody is that they were going to adapt the first 2 games into one movie. Yeah. And that just, can't really work. Like, I mean, this movie proves it, because like in the games, like within the canon of the games, like they take place like several months apart. And here it's like the Raccoon City outbreaks like happening kind of like, I forget, like they make it seem like the lab or like the mansion like outbreak happened like a while back, but then they also like at the same time the like the Raccoon City outbreak's just starting to happen. Like, people are actually turning into zombies, but like maybe they contracted the infection earlier. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's been a while since I saw this, and I probably should have made notes on it if I wanted to really discuss it in depth. But like, yeah, that's part of the problem. And then like, everybody's just like miscast, like completely.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Because one of the dudes is the guy from Letterkenny. Like,
Which one?
yeah,
You know?
I forget. I couldn't tell you the name of the guy he plays in Letterkenny.
Okay.
But he was the kind of like long-haired blonde guy.
He might play Brad in the
Yeah,
the film. Like, yeah, okay.
he wasn't one of the main guys,
No.
but he was in it, and I was like, oh,
My goodness. But yeah, like pretty much everybody's miscast. Like everybody's either like older than they're supposed to be. Some of the costumes look like absolute crap. Like really lazy. Like I know a lot of people are commenting like trying to think. Yeah, I think they were getting a lot of negative comments on like those initial like press releases, and like people are like, "Oh, did you just go to like Party City or whatever and pick up some like a police officer's costume for Leon?" Yeah, like I mean, some of the stars people like have their own individual unique costumes, but then like they get a little lazy with some of like the Bravo team guys. They just have them in normal like police officer uniforms, which is kind of funny. And then like they're like missing like a lot of like very like plot critical characters, at least to like the first game. Like there's no Barry Burton, there's no Rebecca Chambers. You're missing.
I heard there's not very many monsters either.
No, there's only like one licker in the entire movie.
Dang.
Yeah, it's all CGI, so that's probably why they wanted to save on money. Because yeah, I think that's the big thing. This like did not have enough of a budget to really do this justice. Like I think they were originally probably wanting to do 2 films, but then they were told they could only do 1 or something, and they mashed them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I will go into it further in like another video, but like yeah, it was not a good movie. I only paid $5 for the movie ticket, so but like even then I think I got ripped off. I would not recommend. Even if you're a fan, if you're curious, they're gonna do things that I don't know. It's kind of how I feel about Netflix Castlevania. It's like they looked into it enough to know names and like certain events and whatnot, but not enough to actually like fully flesh them out or like actually make certain characters behave like certain characters or look like certain characters or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have to say about that.
So, on the topic of bad movies, I can definitely tell you what was the worst movie I watched this year. And to be fair, there was some solid competition, but I'm gonna have to give it to Wonder Woman 84.
Did that come out this year?
No, so it came out in like December the year before,
Okay.
so I was a bit late. I actually felt really stupid because I watched it like the next day after we recorded our best and worst of 2020 podcast. And I'm like, this movie was worse than anything I watched that year. Like, because like it came out and all the reviews were bad, and I figured it was just like a Captain Marvel go woke, go broke thing. Because I knew the bad guy was supposed to look like Donald Trump, so I figured it was just a bunch of angry conservatives and stuff. No. Everything bad you have heard about this movie is true. I don't think it probably doesn't have any redeeming qualities. It is boring. It makes no sense. It's not funny. It's just not good. Like, I think it's the worst DC movie. Well, okay, maybe I think Suicide Squad is the worst DC movie, but if I had the choice to watch Suicide Squad or this, I would take Suicide Squad any day of the week. Like, Suicide Squad is just like a mess of a movie. Like, whoever edited that did not know how to edit a movie. But it's still more entertaining to watch than Wonder Woman. And like, I get that the movie was supposed to come out earlier, but like it feels so stupid to have, this anti-Trump message and like, after the election, after he had lost. So it's like, it was just awful movie. Like, and the fact that she the woman who directed that is supposed to direct the next Star Wars movie. And apparently that movie is just as bad because freaking Kathleen Kennedy came out and said that that movie has been postponed indefinitely. So they might never even release her Star Wars movie. And if it's as bad as Wonder Woman 84, good.
Yikes.
Yeah, it makes Batman versus Superman look like the masterpiece it's supposed to be. Like,
yet another entry in the long list of movies I've only watched once.
How weird is it to think that Snyder... I guess I haven't watched the Suicide Squad, so I can't say that. I was going to say that the Snyder Cut is the best DC movie that's come out in the past 2 years. But I don't know if that's true, because I haven't seen the Suicide Squad yet. Ifrit, did you watch the Snyder Cut?
No, I said I was going to, just to be consistent, because I watched the extended cut of Batman v Superman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I haven't picked it up or anything. Haven't seen the original Justice League.
So I was one of the 4 people who actually liked the original Justice League. It's not a good movie by any means, but I still thought it was fun enough. And I go back and forth over if I think the Snyder Cut is better. I think it's like on par. And I don't know. The craziest thing about the Snyder Cut, I mean, I have to talk about this, is just the fact that it exists is just crazy. And apparently it didn't make any money, so I don't think we're ever going to get to see this again. But it is 4 hours long. 90% of it is slow-mo. And yet, it's still not... I don't know. I didn't think it was awful. I still don't know if I could call it like a good movie. But, I don't know. I guess I'd say it's fine. It had some really cool stuff. And there's some scenes in that movie that you're like, holy crap. Why did they cut this from the original version? Mostly the scenes with the Flash. And then you have, like, the super edgy scene with Jared Leto as the Joker, which made me laugh just because...
Because he looks like Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah, he looks like Tommy Wiseau, and like, I'm sorry, Jared Leto, but you're bad at everything you do. Okay, so... But, I don't know, it was cool to see all of the, like, Justice League cast back again for, like, one last time, and it was cool that they were able to film new scenes, and everyone says that you shouldn't watch it in little segments, and I think that's retarded, because the movie literally, like, it'll stop partway through, and just have, like, a big black title card that says, like, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and stuff like that, so...
Well, that's weird.
I think it was originally meant to be released as episodes, and then they just decided to make it one huge 4-hour movie. But I think you can watch it episodically and it's fine. Like, the first 2 episodes are a bit slow, but if you've watched Daredevil or The Punisher, then, that's just what you have to get sometimes.
And those are even longer. Those are like 13 episodes each, and that's like 40 minutes an episode.
Yeah. I mean, like, most of the Daredevil episodes will be mostly, like, people talking and, having the plot progress, and then you'll have 1 or 2 quick action scenes. And that's how the first 2 chapters are. Like, it's setting stuff up, and there's, like, a little bit of action. So, I think it works good if you watch it episodically.
I don't know. Maybe people are saying just to watch it in one sitting just to get it over with. I don't know.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, that is 4 hours. Like, I'd just say, like, maybe at least watch half of it or a quarter of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So next on, like, new to me movies. So I did mention during our Halloween recommendations that I watched the Blade Trilogy. I do recommend the first 2 films. Blade is a pretty good, like, horror action film. Wesley Snipes is awesome as Blade. It's got Chris Christopherson as a Whistler, his like mentor / another um, vampire hunter guy. He's awesome too. Oh, I forget the name of the guy who plays the main villain. He does a pretty good job. But yeah, pretty good movie. Blade 2, also pretty awesome. It's got these weird vampires that have these like what's that monster in Stranger Things that kind of has like the face mouth that opens up.
Oh, the Demogorgon.
Yeah, they kind of have mouths like that, except it's just like two jaws, like two segments jaws.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's like they're like a mutation of the vampire. So it's got like those guys. It's got freaking Vampire Palpatine. It's got what's his name from Boondock Saints / Death Stranding, Norman Reedus. It's got Ron Perlman being a dick. It's got a bunch of guys that look like Matrix extras. It's got Donnie Yen as one of them.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, those are, again, not like masterpieces of films, but they're still like really enjoyable. They're fun. They are R-rated, so they're going to be kind of violent and stuff, but I don't know. Then there's Blade Trinity.
AKA Deadpool 0.
Yeah. So, again, you got Wesley Snipes as Blade. You got some lady who I forget the name of as like Whistler's daughter. Then you got frickin' Ryan Reynolds playing himself for the entire damn movie. Maybe that's why I hate Deadpool. It's like not like the film, but like the character. It's just because he like imprinted it on me. And like I enjoyed Deadpool 2. I didn't like the first one as much, but just stop, man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I think it was actually that movie that like, because like long before, I forget. I think somehow that movie and the role that he plays in that is the reason why he became Deadpool. Because like they were supposed to make a Deadpool movie like back in like 2006 or 7 with Ryan Reynolds.
It was
like,
after Origins Wolverine, so it would have.
No, it was before.
It was before.
So,
holy crap!
Yeah, so like in one of the comics that was written back in the heyday, like they made a comment that Deadpool acts just like Ryan Reynolds, and like at some point, they casted him as Deadpool for this movie that never got made, and like he's just kind of been trying to get it to be made because Ryan Reynolds has obviously became a fan of the comics through that.
Yeah.
And then like he finally got the role in X-Men Origins, and you can even like look up interviews of him saying like, oh, this is an awful version of Deadpool, and then he finally got to have his version of it, and then Fox bought Disney. Where is Deadpool now,
Yeah. I don't know, like, I don't hate Ryan Reynolds, it's just, like, his performance in this film really annoyed the shit out of me. And, like, overall, it's just a bad film. Like, the main villain just sucks ass. Like, he's supposed to be, like, Dracula, but he's not really Dracula. He's, like, some sort of Mesopotamian, ancient, like, they call him Dagon, but somehow he's associated with the Dracula myth, too. Mm-hmm. They do the same stupid shit that, bugged me about the, first 2 films, where they like shit on like the old legends and stuff, and like Bram Stoker's Dracula. They're like, oh yeah, that was just that shitty book. It's like, dude, shut the hell up. This film probably wouldn't have been made had Dracula not been popular, like the book and the character. It's like,
yeah,
jeez, tone it down.
So in other words, the new Blade movie, whenever that comes out, it doesn't have a high bar at the top with Blade Trinity.
No. It's still gonna be kind of like, even a PG-13 Blade could probably beat Blade Trinity. It's not hard to beat level 0. Like, my goodness.
Yeah.
Again, there is some enjoyable like action scenes in it, and I guess Ryan Reynolds' character gets a little bit more tolerable towards the end. Patton Oswalt's in the movie, and he's like only in it for like 5 seconds. That's a plus in my book.
I heard the production on that movie was a mess, and like there's some interview with Patton Oswalt where he's talking about how what's the guy who plays his Blade?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, yeah. Where Wesley Snipes wouldn't refer to himself as Wesley Snipes. He's like, from now on, if you don't call me Blade, I'm gonna kick your ass or something like that. And that, like, he would, like, he used to put sticky notes on everything signed Blade, and like.
I did.
Like, they're pretty funny stories. And, like, I get that Patton Oswalt's like a stand-up comedian. Well, he does stand-up comedy, so who knows how true that stuff is. But
I heard about, yeah. I remember hearing about that, and then, like, I guess that's similar to what Jared Leto kind of did with Joker and Suicide Squad, but not as, like, he did some more, like, creepy stuff with that, but yeah, that's actually pretty hilarious. If I was Wesley Snipes, I'd just do that to mess with people.
mm-hmm.
I don't think of him as, like, a method actor, but,
No.
like, yeah, I would just do that to mess with people. Especially Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you heard the rumor that like people were like matching? There's this one episode of Parks and Rec in like a later season where Patton Oswalt plays a character and he's like oh, what's it called? When
Is that the one where he pitches the new Star Wars?
Yes, he pitches the new Star Wars and he describes the beginning of the Book of Boba Fett, like the first episode.
Yeah.
Like,
which, to be fair, like, Boba Fett crawling out of the Sarlacc isn't something that Patton Oswalt was the first one to come up with.
True.
But it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I
think he had some specific cinematography in it as well, and they like used that maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably.
But I don't know. I just find it funny.
Mm-hmm. I guess if I have to talk about Book of Boba Fett, there's only 2 episodes out right now.
Yeah, we're talking about movies
1?
now. Talking about movies.
Yeah, I guess I'll save that for TV shows. Yeah.
Good, because I barely have anything to talk about with shows, so you can.
Oh, I have a ton to talk about.
Because I got like one more movie I can talk about.
I mean, Spider-Man came out, but by the time this is out, the Spider-Man review will be out.
Yeah, we'll just mention that now. So yeah, we both saw No Way Home. We got a video coming for that, and I don't know if this will be out before that or not, but hopefully.
That video should be up tonight.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, we both liked it. I think.
I watched the first 3 Fast and Furious movies, which for a long time I was on a anti-Fast and Furious. I was on that train, but I watched the first 3 movies. They're pretty funny. Like, I don't know. I enjoyed them more than I expected to. The thing I kind of like about those movies is they have like a very like, I don't know, the only way I can describe it, like a very chill bro attitude to it. And like, I imagine the newer movies don't have that because the newer movies don't take themselves as seriously.
Oh.
But, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like in Tokyo Drift, he's like, on this mountain, the art of drifting was created and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just funny. It's funny seeing how like serious they take it. And, I don't know. They're very much products of their time, which is kind of cool as well.
I think we've discussed this before, but isn't Tokyo Drift a prequel?
I don't know. So Tokyo Drift doesn't follow the main cast.
Oh.
Like, the only character in it that has to do with the other movies is that at like the very end of the movie, Dom Toretto shows up and says that he was friends with Hans. And then I think in like Fast like 5 or 6 or one of the other movies, Hans shows up. So that one is a prequel to Tokyo Drift, but I don't know about the other ones.
Okay.
I think I saw a video that said like in the canon, Tokyo Drift takes place in like 2011, even though the movie was made in like 2005. So like, you know, he's getting all pissed off about stealing VCRs. But no, he gets pissed off about like somebody steals like a really old iPod. And I'm like, nobody was getting that mad over iPods in 2011.
I was going to say, if it was a VCR, he stole an Xbox One.
Yeah.
No, those weren't out till like 2013 or whatever, but still.
Shoot. I think I might try to watch all of them right before the last Fast and Furious movie comes out, just because I think it'd be fun to marathon them. But I might not. Who knows?
Yeah. It's been forever since I've seen any of those. I think I've only seen maybe the first one all the way through. And I've seen parts of Tokyo Drift. I don't know about the second one.
The second one is probably the most fun out of the first three. I think so. Just because it has the line, "You forgot about the ejecto-cedo."
The hell?
Yeah. And they have there's a fight scene. It's the most awkward fight scene where they rip some dude out of a car. They're biting each other and spitting on each other and kicking each other. And when they finish, he's like, "Thanks, cuz."
Is this Vin Diesel you're talking about?
No, this is Tyrese Gibson.
Oh.
And whatever the main guy's name is, the one who died. Rest in peace.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Walker.
Yeah.
All right. I think that finishes up movies, though.
No, it doesn't.
We gotta talk about No Time to
No,
Die.
I got another one before we talk about that. I know this is going holy
okay.
crap long, but I just want to mention this real quick. Sin City.
Oh, how was that?
It's pretty good. So it's based on a Frank Miller graphic novel, I guess. I forget if it was a comic series before they compiled it or whatever. But yeah, he actually did some directing for it. It was him and Robert Rodriguez, and then I think Quentin Tarantino was involved a bit as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's this weird mishmash, but it is a rather interesting film. It's got some pretty interesting casting choices, friggin' Clive Owens in this film. That's a name I haven't heard of in a long time. I mean, I guess he was still in films and stuff when that came out. When did this come out? 2005, 2004.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a very I recommend it. It's got some awesome cinematography, just the style of it. It's in black and white. Certain things are in color though, like blood or no, not blood, but yeah, a very limited color scheme. Where was I going with this? As far as story goes, it's kind of broken up into different chapters, I guess. So you probably could watch it in chunks, but I don't know. It's not terribly long of a film. It my goodness.
Yeah.
Holy crap. We're only in movies and I'm having major brain farts. So I guess the segments I enjoyed the most were either the ones with Bruce Willis or the ones with Mickey Rourke. So Bruce Willis is this detective, Dirty Harry type guy. He's going after this serial child rapist. Yeah, a lot to unpack there. But and then with Mickey Rourke, he's just I guess he's a criminal or whatever, trying to avenge this prostitute who got killed and he was blamed for her death and whatnot. Yeah. Then the villains are pretty interesting too. They got friggin' Elijah Wood is this silent cannibal guy. He's a very
what the heck?
He's a very, very bad man. He looks like Harry Potter. Then also Rutger Hauer as this corrupt bishop. Rest in peace. And then Powers Booth as this senator who's the father of that child rapist I mentioned earlier. Also, rest in peace, Powers Booth. I think he passed away either this past year or in 2020.
But it's a Frank Miller comic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, Frank Miller makes an appearance.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he plays this priest that Mickey Rourke pretty much blows away almost immediately. And apparently that's a trend with it, his his works getting adapted. He will make anti-cameos. He either plays a corpse or someone that gets blown away almost immediately. It's
I believe it.
Yeah, he even did one. There's something in the 90s that he did with Stan Lee where he gets like killed right in front of Stan Lee, and I find that kind of hilarious.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
Did you know that, what is it, Image Comics, when they first like came out, they went and asked Frank Miller if they could, release a bunch of comics called Frank Miller Presents that like Frank Miller had nothing to do with, but just as like a way to make fun of Stan Lee because they were releasing the Stan Lee Presents comics. And Frank Miller thought it was a really good idea, but he thought they were just joking. But so he just kind of like laughed and like shrugged it off. But like years later, he's like, "Oh, if I knew they were being serious, like heck yeah, that would have been awesome."
Oh my.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about freaking No Time to Gosh Darn friggin' Die. Oh, damn it. Bumped my mic.
All right, I gotta check. What was because we made a podcast on it.
It's like 2019, I want to say.
I think it was 2019.
It's like season 4.
Let's see. Yep.
Or season 3.
2 years ago. Yeah. July 27th, 2019. Bond 25 is in trouble. Didn't even know what the name of it was.
I think we mentioned it in the movie. Or, not in the movie, damn it, in the video.
Yeah, we probably do.
Yeah.
But, what did you think? I want to know your thoughts before I spread mine. Because I'm kind of a minority on my opinion of it.
I mean, I was glad to finally see a movie in the theaters. Like, there are parts of it I enjoyed, but overall, it's just,
You feel, okay, that's cool, because I thought I was the only person that felt this way. I don't know, I watched all of the Daniel Craig movies in order before I watched this one. And I think this is the one I enjoy the least. I don't know if I can say it's the worst, like, objectively. But, I don't know, like, there's a couple things I didn't like in it. Like, one, the villain absolutely sucks. Like,
frickin' Freddie Mercury as international villain Lloyd Mongo. On a quest to avenge his missing chromosomes taken from him by Mr. White Inspector. I don't know.
Dun, dun.
What the hell was his motivation in that entire movie? I forget.
So, this is what I think it was, and I could be wrong. His family used to be part of Spectre. At some point, Spectre tried to, like, off them. So he's kind of in this...
No,
like,
I think they did off him, and then it, like, disfigured him or whatever.
They offed his family except him. So he's been trying to get revenge on Spectre ever since. So, and I think the idea, I could be wrong here, but I thought the idea was that because, what's his name? Blofeld is in jail. Blofeld is actually secretly helping him kill all of Spectre because Blofeld just wants, everything to end because he's already lost, And I was totally cool with all of that. Like, he seems like a minor character in the story, like he's the main villain, but he's barely in it. I just really don't like the fact that he's the reason that, like, James Bond gets killed, like, I don't know, because him and Bond had nothing they didn't really have any beef with each other, like, I didn't like that. And the stupidest line in the entire Daniel Craig series is given by him, and it's when he's walking off with spoilers. I guess I should have said spoilers before I said James Bond died. Oh well. He's walking off with James Bond's, like, 5-year-old daughter, and the daughter's, like, trying to get away, and he's like, "Oh, fine. You won't join my evil family? Then you can just stay here." Like, that scene was, like, written by a 5-year-old. And I have a theory, because we talked about how this movie had massive reshoots. I have a theory that at some point, originally, you didn't see the little daughter escape, that she just escapes off screen, and it's like a surprise. But since she's James Bond's daughter, of course, she has super spy skills. And I feel like the freaking test audience, the test audiences, they're usually retarded. Like, if you look at some of the stuff they complain about in movies, sometimes they can be pretty retarded. And I'm curious if that scene was added because the test screenings had a bunch of people going, wait, how did the daughter escape? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, I didn't like that. I really don't like the fact that it deals with some type of weird super virus, because if there's one thing I don't want to hear in a James Bond movie right now is, oh, you've been infected. You should have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Like, I shouldn't have to hear that in the movies, okay? I've already heard that enough in real life.
Yeah, but I think like going back to Lucifer Safin or whatever the hell his name is, I like what his motivation like past the point of like, killing everybody in Spectre and Blofeld.
Yeah,
like
because at the end he's trying to blow up the world.
It's like trying to
take it
infect
over.
the world. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Are you that much of a bastard? Like, gosh.
And like I get that was a very common thing in the old James Bond movies. And I get that this is the last Daniel Craig one, so they have to amp the stakes, but I don't know, I kind of like the Daniel Craig movies because it's not over-the-top evil bad guy stuff. It's, a little more grounded.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I also think they completely wasted what's his name? Christoph Waltz. Like,
Yeah.
he's only in the movie for as long as he was in the trailer.
Yeah. That and what is it? Knives Out. What is her name? The Spanish spy chick. Oh, what is her name? It's killing me.
I think her name's like Paloma in the movie.
Yeah, I think it is Paloma in the movie. But yeah, she like shows up, and then they have a big action scene, and then she leaves. Never in the movie again. Like, that was super weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, apparently, because you know how we were talking about Phoebe Waller-Bridge getting involved with like the writing.
Yeah.
Apparently, her character, like the character of Paloma, like has a lot of echoes of like her style of writing, like the weird like I'm actually good at fighting and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she seemed kind of shoehorned in like last minute because they needed, I don't know.
Like, I get that those, like, Daniel Craig and her acted together in the movie Knives Out, but, like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, she was the maid in that, right?
Yeah, she's the main character in Knives Out. So.
Another kind of, movie.
Mm-hmm.
Gets more, the more that I think about it. And then, I also didn't like the fact they killed off Felix Leiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured they would, but like at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Especially by the freaking Fed.
The Book of Mormon.
Yeah, the Book of Mormon, Glowy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
It's like I like that comment that friggin' James makes to Felix Leiter at the bar. He's like, oh, this guy's shifty. He smiles too much. He practically glows in the dark. My goodness. But and then there's I do like the one scene where like he's chasing. Or like him and the like other bad guys are like chasing Bond in the forest, and then he's like stops the SUV, and then he like pokes his head out, and you hear this like dun dun, and he's like doing that stupid ass smile.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much just complained about the movie this far.
Yeah.
To be fair, there is a lot of stuff in this movie that I like. Like, I will definitely watch this movie probably a lot more in the next couple of years,
Yeah.
But I mean, like, this movie does like tie in stuff from all the Daniel Craig movies, which I think is really cool. And maybe it's not all tied together super well, but that's better than just pretending that they didn't exist, which is what freaking Spectre did, And it had some pretty cool action scenes, like,
yeah.
I feel like there are a little more over the top in this one than they had been in the past. The spy car is always really cool and fun to watch, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really like. I just love, like, I thought Daniel Craig was just going to be shoehorning a performance in, just grumbling the whole time, and like maybe he is a little bit, but like I like at the beginning of the movie how freaking he just gets so pissed off at his wife, even though like she didn't do anything, but he's just such like a
Yeah, they got such a passive aggressive relationship in the beginning. It like hurts.
yeah, but I don't know. At the same time, I love it because like that's how Daniel Craig is, at least in like the first two, like Casino Royale and Quantum. Mostly Quantum. He's just this really just pissed off. Like he's a psychopath. Like that's the coolest thing is that like in these movies, especially the older ones, they're just like, yeah, James Bond is just a psychopath who murders people, but we have him hired and he gets the job done, so we don't really know what to do with him.
Yeah. Oh crap! I had something I was gonna add to that. Oh yeah, like I think he did a decent job for the last one. He just like right at the beginning, I like noticed it's like holy crap! Like he looks like really tired. I don't know if like
Yeah.
it's because that first scene was one of the reshoots, and he's like, oh shit, just please end this shit. But like, yeah, he just looks really tired. I don't want to say old, but like, yeah, exhausted, ready for this to be over with. And I guess
Well, what's
he got
funny,
his
I
wish.
was watching when you watch through all of them in order, like you get to not Spectre, you get to Skyfall, and like they have to pull him out of retirement, and like that's the beginning of old Daniel Craig. Like in the first two, like they're trying to make him look young and handsome and stuff, but in that one, they're just like, no, he's just old. And I'm like, we still have like 3 more movies to go. He spends more time being old than he does being young.
You know the funny thing too, like I just thought about this today. It's like Skyfall, like at least from like Bond's perspective, has like such a like lack of emphasis on like gadgetry and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like he has some stuff. Like he has the little radio.
Yeah.
And he has the handgun. But like that's about it.
Yeah, and then like moving into Spectre and then this, it's like more like tech and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. Like they weren't really trying to make a point with that in Skyfall. Just that like oh MI6 is overrun.
Yeah.
We're kind of limited on budget at the moment. Sorry.
I do like how in Skyfall, Q is like, oh well, we don't really do like the fun goofy gadgets anymore. So then James Bond like breaks into like an old MI6 storage unit and pulls out like the old spy car, and then he's able to use that to kill everyone.
Yeah. I guess they did have that in Skyfall, the car. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he also has his old one, like his DB5.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. That he pulls out the DB5, but it's.
Oh, I thought he had.
It's not.
I thought he had that in a storage unit.
I think it's an MI6 one because he owns one. Like he gets one in Casino Royale,
Right.
but it's a different one than he has because in that movie, in Skyfall, he has a spy car. Like it has like the ejector seat and the machine guns and stuff in it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'm forgetting.
In Casino, he just has a regular one.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I did not pay attention the last time I watched Skyfall.
It's okay. Anyways, those are all really fun movies.
Yep. So I'd say this is a pretty good year for movies for me, despite the fact that I didn't like most of the new ones I saw, like 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year, like it was mostly just new to me movies, and this year I think we got a good even mix in.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.